This video is sponsored by Single Point Solution. Single Point is pioneer in production and distribution of electric vehicles like electric bikes, electric scooters and three-wheelers. Single Point also provide consulting services to small F players.
Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Akulmac Technologies, and today we would like to talk about something very interesting and something which was announced yesterday by the Defense Minister of India. Some new development that our scientists have done, and this is something that we have invented or created or something which we have done indigenously, and this is about the hypersonic flight. So we will talk about that in today in detail. So before we start, let me present a few facts with you. So this whole news is about India achieving indigenous capability for the hyperdrive vehicle. So we will discuss what is hyperdrive vehicle, but the hyperdrive, as the name suggests, it is a vehicle which can go at very high speed. Now it could have many commercial and defense requirement which this indigenous technology can fulfill. But so far, let me tell you that we had to buy this technology, and it was not owned. But with this development, as of yesterday, we have joined the a group of 4 countries, which has the capability of hyperdrive. Now, it is not something which is readily available. It is very, very closely guarded technology, which only 4 countries has. And China got this technology developed in 2014, not so long ago. So predominantly, this technology has been with the US and Russia. They have used the hyperdrive technology in some of their fighter planes to fly very fast. So we will discuss about all that. But now we are the 4th country in the world to have the hypersonic engine available with India. So let us understand what is hyperdrive. So we have all heard about supersonic. So the supersonic is something which can fly faster than the speed of sound. So the speed of sound is 700 and odd miles per hour, and if a plane can fly faster than speed of sound, it is called supersonic. But the hypersonic is many times the speed of sound. So usually hypersonic flight is considered flying at 4.5 upwards of 5 Mach. As some of you may know, that Mach is the measure of speed after you cross the speed of sound. So the speed of sound is equal to Mach 1. Mach 2 is twice the speed of sound. Mach 3 is the 3 times the speed of sound, and so on and so forth. So Mach 5 is considered a hypersonic speed, or in the neighborhood of Mach 5. So how this speed can be achieved? But before we go there, this is not something which is completely alien to us. We have a hypersonic missile called BrahMos. It is the fastest cruise missile in the world today, which can fly at the speed of up to 5 to 7 Mach. And this is in service. This has been commissioned as well. It's a very versatile missile system, and it has capability of carrying nuclear weapons as well, and very, very accurate, very, very fast. It cannot be stopped once fired because it is flying so high at a high speed, at high velocity, and the range of this cruise missile is up to 700 to 800 kilometers. So it will reach at 7 Mach within an instant. So even the enemy will not have a time to react, because this is a medium range missile and it can fly very, very fast. There is no system which can stop it. How this speed is achieved? But before we go to the hyper hypersonic drive systems, let me tell the viewers that the whole thing is based on something called scramjet. So what is a scramjet? We will come to that in a minute, but let us understand how the normal aircraft turbine engine works. So as you can see here, uh, in this diagram, this is a very simple diagram of a jet engine. It has something called a compressor in the start of the airflow, and as you see this when you fly using the jet planes, I'm sure everyone has seen there is a engine with a big frontal side as an entry point for the air. So this is exactly what it is. The air enters from here, and these are the compressors. These fans operate in different stages, and when the air passes from one to other, the the rate at which the compression is required is actually increased every time it passes through the stages. So this is a low compressor propellers, and as the air passes through all of this, it becomes a high compressor. The last one is the highest compression. So you can achieve a very high compression of air inside the engine. Now over here, as it is shown in the diagram, that is a combustion chamber. So the fuel is injected here, and it is, it is given, is ignited. So once the fuel is ignited, it expands again. So it expands vigorously, and hence it will escape from the other side. So this is really the heart of the jet engine, and this is how the engine works. It's very simplistic diagram, but it has lot many things. We are not covering all of that. But as the hot air is escaping the engine, there is something called turbine. These turbines are connected via a shaft with some of these compressors. So they actually spin the turbines, and once they're able to do that, once the turbines are spinning, they are connected with this green color shaft uh, with some of these compressors. So this jet engine, once it attains certain speed, it becomes a self-sufficient system. That means it does not require any external help. The incoming air will get compressed automatically as long as you keep injecting the fuel and igniting it. The jet engine will keep running once it attains certain speed. So this is a very simple uh, diagram of a jet engine. Now, jet engine can take you anywhere between 800 kilometers or 500 miles to upwards of up to 3 Mach or 2.5 Mach. And this is exactly the today's jet engine can fly the fighter planes at very high speed, which is up to 2 Mach to up to 3 Mach. But after 3 Mach, the jet engine um cannot withstand the pressure and the stress which are which can be seen at that speed. So you need something different, and the answer comes in the form of something called scramjet. Now you would wonder, what is a scramjet? Now scramjet is a piece of empty tube which has the air entering from one side at supersonic speed. So the first requirement for a scramjet to function is that the air which is coming through the intake should be already at the supersonic speed. That means the air movement itself should be very, very fast. And once this is moving inside the engine, it has no moving parts, and you just spray the fuel and ignite it. Once the fuel is ignited, it is actually uh, thrown out of the exhaust at very, very high speed. So the movement of air is already at supersonic when it entered this scramjet, and when it exits this scramjet, it is expanded. It has a lot of fuel which is exploded inside the engine, and it is now propelling the aircraft at upwards of 5 Mach of speed. So this is the principle of a scramjet. Very simple device, but it has a lot of things which which are required, and why now you can see that scramjet can be has been made by India, and only 4 countries have made this technology, simply because the material required for building a scramjet to handle these stresses, handle the temperature and the speed at which it flies are closely guarded secret. The the material which is used, the metal and the alloys, uh, the things which are used to make scramjets are very, very secret. And none of the countries who got this technology is sharing with other. So this is really the background. But then how do you combine, how do you make sure that you have a viable solution to fly? So once you say that, hey, I know the principle of scramjet, I know the principle of a jet engine. Jet engine is also a very, very difficult thing to make. It's very, very high tech equipment. And now the India is saying that we've got the hypersonic flight. That means the hypersonic engine is indigenously developed by India. So what it takes to make a viable solution? The viable solution is to basically combine a jet engine with a scramjet, and that will ensure that the air, when it enters the engine, it is already at the supersonic speed to make the scramjet kick in. So in the next diagram, I'm showing how this actually functions. Now, as you see that it's a scramjet, it's a combination of scramjet, and this is the jet engine inside this scramjet. So jet engine is working normally as it would function. That means it has a compressor, it has an ignition, and then it has an exhaust. But the jet engine will fire, take the aeroplane into the sky, and give it a speed of Mach more than Mach 2. Now, when the aircraft is flying at Mach 2, the air which is coming inside the engine is already at supersonic speed. And that is a time when you can kick start the scramjet to propel your aircraft to further distances at a very high speed. So, by combining the jet engine and a scramjet technology, you can achieve the speed upwards of 5 Mach. Um, People are saying that you can go up to, with the current technology which is available in the world today, up to 15 Machs. So it is very, very high speed. Now, if you compare that with India as a country, you take a flight and you have to fly from one end of the country to another. It takes about 5 to 6 hours, roughly, with the normal turbofan engines. But if you have a scramjet fitted in your aircraft, you can cover the entire India length and breadth, top to bottom, in less than an hour. So you see how much time saving you can do if you have this kind of technology available, readily available. And that is why it is such a big deal that only 4 countries have this, and India became the 4th one yesterday. And this is not something new for the world. The United States of America has been flying this uh, black bird. It is called Black Beauty. It is fastest flying aeroplane which is commercially produced. It's called SR-71 Blackbird, and this is basically developed during the Cold War era. And when the Russians tried to detect it and fire upon using surface-to-air missile or air-to-air missile, uh, this aeroplane was flying so fast, it did not carry any defensive weapons on board. All it had to do is, when they see a missile coming towards them, they just speed up and escape the missile. So, that is really the beauty of this technology, that, it's when your aeroplanes can fly at such a high speed, you you can be very uh, your whole defense paradigm changes completely. um, if you have supersonic missile system or hypersonic missile system, there are no systems like S-300 or S-400. Now Russia is talking about S-500, but all of these systems, which are very accurate, are totally helpless for when they have to stop a hypersonic missile. So we already have a hypersonic missile called BrahMos, which is developed in collaboration with Russia. However, now we got our own indigenous technology of having hypersonic engine developed. I think uh, next few years would be very interesting to note that many more things are going to come out from India, uh, which will be indigenously developed, very high-tech equipment we can see, and we should feel proud about all this. So with this, let me end the video. I look forward to receiving your comments, and do let me know if you find this subject interesting, and we can discuss further on this. Thank you very much, friend, and I will catch you again tomorrow.